All right, we're here with second-year head coach of Mount Hood Community College, Geoff Gibor. We're going to talk a little bit about the first half and looking into the second half. What have you liked that you've seen so far as first half action with the guys and the Southern Region action and things that you guys have progressed on?
Growth.
Growth
Has been probably the biggest word. I think if I'm looking for one word to describe it, is the idea that we started off 0-3 and we've been 3-1 since then. So I think they're growing slowly but surely.
And what do you think that they're buying into? Because you've talked a lot about kind of playing our style of basketball, and here at Mount Hood you guys have a pretty big tradition as far as the style of the play that you guys want to press upon teams, and just what have these guys learned as far as when you're saying growth?
I think they've just learned to play together a little better. I mean, if you start looking at the way we were playing early, very separated. Now I think you're getting a lot more variety in players that are touching the ball, shots that are being taken. The guards are being well involved as well as the bigs. Early it was we were trying to pound it inside, and so we're slowly making that progression, and it just takes time.
Yeah, and it looks like in the last few games, I've noticed on the stat sheet that a lot of you guys are spreading the ball out a little bit more, and you're not having one guy that's going to score 20 points. I mean, they might, but on any given night, you might have 4 or 5 guys in double figures. Is that something that they're kind of buying into as far as playing better team basketball? And I know that's something you've kind of pressed upon as far as getting the bigs involved, but also getting the guards involved, and it not being just one or the other.
Yeah, I think sharing the ball's been, as we talked about, I mean, they've started to share the ball, and they've gotten better and better and better. You start looking at last weekend, we finished up the first half, and we shared the ball well. I mean, a lot of people were involved, a lot of people getting touches. Some guys that hadn't maybe been shooting the ball as well stepped up and made some shots, and that just generates confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what, we're focusing on, growing from that confidence, but really trying to keep competing every day.
Yeah.
So.
And it looks like, Delray had didn't get to start off with the team right away with some transferring stuff or with some great stuff, and looks like he's really stepped up his game. And how important has that been to get him going? I mean, because he's kind of off the court, he seems to be a little more quieter and more reserved, and we've talked a lot about he's not so much about the stats, and we've had this conversation a few times that as long as you guys are winning, he's happy. So, but at the same time, he wants to help build towards that success. What have you seen that's been dramatically changing game by game with him?
Well, I mean, when he plays well, we win, it seems like, because he stretches the defense with the shot. When he's shooting the ball well, I think he plays just obviously more confidence, and other people play with more confidence with him. He's a good athlete, and the idea that he doesn't really care too much about the stats is probably contributes big to the fact that he's getting them.
Yeah.
I mean, so, obviously he's shooting the ball well. We need to get better in other areas, but he's making, he's definitely making strides. So.
And going into this game against PCC, in years past, it's whether guys have said it or not, it's kind of been one of those games. We should go in there and beat these guys every time, and obviously that wasn't the case last game. And I know at this level you want to play game by game. What have you guys learned from that first game that your guys are going to try to address this home game on Saturday?
I think we're going to try to keep those guys a little off balance. I mean, if you start looking back at the film, we've been watching it a lot, and we let those guys do what they're good at. Certain players have certain tendencies. We kind of played into those tendencies, and I think that we're really focusing on guys keeping other players off balance. So if you're not good in a certain area, that's what we want to make you do.
Yeah.
Make you do something that you're not all that comfortable with. And we've been practicing every day with them, and I think they're getting better and better. It's funny, we start off practice playing a certain way with a certain confidence as a coaching staff. They're getting better because they're making us change, and so that's pretty important.
And you said I know this was more last week, and you guys are going to continue doing it, and we've talked about it a couple of different times as far as you as a coach is getting involved, and it's not just some scrub coaches. I mean, you guys got some talent, so I'm sure they've been able to learn a lot from the coaching staff. Has it been a nice thing to have these younger athletic guys? And you got Corey, who's a great defender, and then you got Stefan, who's a great ball handler and a good offensive player.
It's great. I'm the worst one of the bunch, so it works out well. We're really lucky. if you think about, and I tell our guys this because they don't quite understand that, like the unique situation they're in that how many other college, programs are out there where you're going to have actually 5 guys play who have college experience, number one, and can still get out there and play with them. At certain times they get a little apprehensive at times about how to deal with our situation because of the fact that we are coaches and there's a certain level of respect that they feel like they need to uphold. And
yeah,
stuff.
and be careful.